welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Meg, and today we have another episode of Bachelor Talks Season 22 with Arie, the hometown dates. Alright, you guys, so we're getting near the end of the series. Last night episode was Hometowns, and I just finished watching it, and I do have some thoughts on that. Nothing too crazy happened in this episode, but luckily it didn't seem to really drag out for me like all the other episodes in this season, thankfully. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. So the first person that he did the hometown with was Kendall. By the way, I apologize if you can hear my dogs click-clacking downstairs in the background. They're about an hour and a half out from dinner time, so they're super antsy. But anyways, the first person he went to the hometown with was Kendall, and she had a whole taxidermy date set up for him, and he was so freaked out by it. It was kind of funny to watch. I'm someone that grew up with a little bit of taxidermy. My dad has a lot of ducks and stuff that he's had stuffed over the years, so it wasn't really anything weird to me personally, but it was kind of funny to see him squirm and just be uncomfortable. And I think that's what I like so much about his relationship with Kendall, is that she really pushes him to do things he normally wouldn't do, and things that he wouldn't think are fun, he has fun doing. And I think that's one of the reasons why he has her and Tia around, because I feel they bring out the younger fun side in him, which is what I've said before. And I love Kendall's relationship with her sister, and her sister is very intuitive to her and to Arie's feelings, and I felt her sister called some things out, and so that's interesting. I like to see how that plays out later in the episode. So then with Tia, I feel he had a stronger connection with her than Kendall. When they went to the hometowns, I definitely feel he had a stronger connection starting off with Tia than he did with Kendall. But it didn't seem Arie really connected much with Tia's family. I felt they really tried, and I felt he wasn't really giving them much of anything. I mean, I can't really say I'm surprised. I feel he hasn't given much of anything the entire season. But Tia had a really thoughtful date idea for them to do the race car driving, and Arie was really in his element. So that was sweet of Tia to it's overwhelming many people's family, so to give him that little bit of familiarness was a nice touch. But I honestly think that the downside or downfall for Tia was just her family connection with Arie. I feel if there was a really good connection there, it would have made their bond stronger. So next was Becca's family, and this segment was just so adorable to watch, because there was so much love from everyone in her family, and her mom was so cute and sweet, and Uncle Gary was cracking me up. He don't mess around. So it was just I feel that's kind of the dad role in all these situations, is they kind of come after the bachelor, you better not hurt her, I'll find you, we need straight answers. They put on this whole tough act, and it was really fun to see that. But I love Becca's family. I felt Arie had a really good connection with all of them. And then with Lauren's family, I just feel it's no surprise that there was awkwardness with their family, because look at Lauren's journey with Arie and all the dates they've been on throughout this entire season. I just feel they purposely edited it that way. There's no way it's that awkward or that silent or that uncomfortable. I feel it's just a little shtick that they're playing to go along with the awkwardness that Lauren's been portraying throughout the season. I do like Lauren's dad. Can I just say, I quoted him on this. He said that there were red flags about Arie, and he picked this up after spending just a couple hours with him. He said that Arie's self-centered, he's only worried about himself, and it's all about him. And I was yes, Lauren's dad, you got that so right. That is exactly how I feel about Arie. Lauren's dad, described my feelings perfectly about that. And her family is extremely concerned about him and his intentions, which I feel any family, they have the right to feel that way. I felt Becca's family was definitely more welcoming to him while having slight concerns, and Lauren's family was just they were just all concerns. All right, so after the hometown dates, oh, by the way, I can definitely still tell that Becca and Lauren are like the two front runners. Like he has like, it's obvious that he has the best connection with them. So we're back at the mansion and it's a rose ceremony time, and before they get started, Arie's like all awkward and he pauses, and then he asks to talk to Kendall. And at first, I was starting to get pissed because I thought they were gonna pull another thing where they have a conversation off camera and they don't let us know what they were talking about. I was gonna be so upset if they did that to us again, but they didn't. They just decided to show Tia freaking out, which I think Tia knows. Like, she even said, like, this makes more sense than her. And it's just like, to me, like, I felt like Tia just knows that he's gonna end up picking Lauren and Becca as the final two. So she was definitely a lot more panicked. You saw like Becca and Lauren be more calm. While they're naturally more calm in their personality anyways, I feel like both of them have a pretty good confidence that they're gonna be moving forward. So Tia was freaking out. And meanwhile, Arie was outside talking with Kendall, and he was questioning her future. And she admits to him, like, his whole thing is like, please tell me you're ready to be engaged, because if not, like, there's another girl that's gonna go home that's 100% ready. Like, I felt like, I get that that's a concern, but for him to threaten her with that, and then like, she's like, well, I'm not ready to be engaged, and then, I don't know, he just still confuses me. So basically, Kendall says that she's not ready to be engaged, but she can see, like, you have the qualities that my partner, like, that I want my future partner to have. And I feel like that was enough for him to, like, keep sticking with her. But then it's just like, I was like, okay, cool, like, Arie's gonna make it through an entire episode without pissing me off. And then he pisses me off. So he has Kendall in a tizzy, like, she's all worried, she's crying, like, she's super upset. She's basically saying, like, I'm not ready to be engaged, like, right now, but, like, I don't think that that's fair of you to shut me out. Like, she's pouring all of her feelings out, and he's just very, as usual, flat and non-responsive until she says, I don't want to lose you. Then he goes, oh, you don't? And it's just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, she's been sitting out here for the past 5 minutes or longer, pouring her heart out to you, and you think she's not into you or, like, doesn't want to be with you until she says, I don't want to lose you. Like, that is, like, the moment that clicks in your brain to be like, oh, you don't? Like, it was just like, ugh, it was just his narcissistic tendencies coming out, and I was just like, Lauren's dad was on to it. Then my frustration continues, because he picks Becca first, and then he picks Lauren, and then he picks Kendall. So I just kind of knew he wasn't really going to be sending her home anyways, because I would like to think that he would just tell her to go home right then and there, but he's an ass, so I don't know, maybe he would have tortured her by bringing her back inside. So anyways, Tia is the one to go home, and it made me sad because, as you guys know, Tia was my favorite on the show, and she is obviously devastated and heartbroken. And I was just like, okay, like, you're down to the bottom 4. Like, you owe these girls explanations. You can't just shove them into a limo without any explanation for anything. Like, that's so shitty to do, especially at this point, because this girl has flat out said, like, she's in love with you. And you say that you're falling for her, you're falling for all these other girls. So you should at least have the courtesy to tell them why you're breaking it off. And then Arie goes and doesn't really give her an answer. And we can see in Tia, like, she's like the kind of, unfortunately, like the perfect example to show this, like, my frustrations, because it's like she's saying, well, what did I do wrong? Like, what do I need to fix about myself? Because it's just, when you're dumped and you're not told why, you're automatically going to assume that you did something wrong, that there's something wrong with you, and it's just going to give you this whole new layer of insecurities. And that's like what he's doing to these girls by not giving them explanations as to why the relationship isn't working out. So she's like sitting there pressing him, rightfully so, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And he goes, nothing, you didn't do anything wrong. And then he goes, I don't have a good explanation for this. I don't know. And then you could kind of see Tia starting to get a little bit pissed, because she's like, you owe me an explanation. And then that's when he says, I don't have one. And it's just like, bro, seriously? Like, he like would start sentences and then just stop. Like is he capable of like even having any kind of like emotional or like intellectual conversation with anyone? I don't know. But basically he tries his best to convince Tia it had nothing to do with her, and he just wasn't emotionally like there and on the same level as the other girls, which I don't understand why that's so difficult for him to say and why he can't say it to these girls. I just hope he's confronted with this in the Women Tell All episode. So yeah, that's basically what happened. I'm still not happy with him. And then it looks like we get 2 episodes next week. And it kind of bothers me that they're doing the Women Tell All before the finale, because it's like, I want to see all of them on the stage and I want to see who he ends up with, because right now there's all these rumors flying around. So I was like, oh, it'll get cleared up on Women Tell All, and it's just like, will it though? Like, so anyways, that's airing Sunday, and then I don't know if it's going to be the last episode on Monday or if they're going to stretch it out. Knowing them, they're going to stretch it out. But either way, there's 2 Bachelor episodes next week. And if you guys have been watching the Winter Games, I am doing recaps on my channel for that as well. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Let me know down below what your thoughts on this week's episode was and who you think the final 2 are, or who you think the final rose is going to. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.